I am with Nicole Orr. So you run Distinguished Young Women. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I didn't even realize you had this whole makeup skincare line. She just had her eyes checked. I think she's gorgeous anyway, but she was upset because she wasn't like her typical made-up self.
I don't have my cool eye, my eye look. I cried it all off in the eye doctors as they were putting contacts in
It
my
happens
eyes.
to the best of us.
Yeah.
So let's start with the makeup and skincare stuff. When did that start?
So that actually started about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I was introduced to a makeup line called Saint, and I was like, I'm 48, I know how to do my makeup. And then I realized I actually didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working, and my skin didn't look good, and hormones and the whole thing. So I just decided to give this a try. And I loved the makeup. And I went, I've been doing my makeup wrong my whole life, you know, as we get older.
Yeah.
And so I was talking about it, and I was telling people. And so the woman that sold it to me said, why don't you just sell it? And I went, that is the last thing I want to do. I don't want to sell anything. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to tell everyone to go see you. And she said, well, just think about it. It's a lot of fun. And I was like, that doesn't sound fun to me. So I ended up, I was Oprah. You need this and you need this. And then I called the woman back and I said, can I do whatever I want with the money that I make? And she said, yes. She goes, I don't care what you do with it. And I thought, I could donate money back to Distinguished Young Women.
Yeah.
Or hospice or anything. And
Right.
so then that became my motivating factor is help women learn how to apply makeup, feel beautiful, have the right colors, not look like a 20-year-old from Sephora.
Yeah.
Because we can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. And then, so that was kind of like I had a really good why that I wanted to do this. It wasn't just
it motivates you differently, doesn't it?
And I got to problem solve.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to a skincare line, and I went, oh, yeah, I don't have a good skincare routine, and that kind of changed it. And so I was able to kind of add to my arsenal. But the most fun is I get to be myself on social media, and people think I'm insane. I'm like, it's like high school theater for me. I get to do all the things, and I'm like 51. I don't care anymore. And so now I get to have fun for a good cause.
Yeah.
And so I named my company Nicole's Makeup for Good, which I'll probably change at some point. But
yeah. Well, I mean, and that, again, when you're motivated by those things, it doesn't feel like selling. You love the stuff. You're just really telling your girlfriends. It's just on a bigger platform and being yourself. And that's the beauty of it, really, for real. Yeah.
And I can help the Distinguished Young Women when they come in.
Yeah.
Because either if they're just covering up, I can teach them. Like we do a whole skincare class and we do makeup, because I think social media has really hurt the mental health of young girls.
Yeah.
And they're just taught that their skin isn't good enough, they're not good enough, they have to look a certain way. And if I can get to them when they're younger to say, don't wreck your skin by doing all of this. This is what you're supposed to look like. And that's really hard for them when they're watching all the filters and things.
Of course. Oh my gosh, it's not real. It's like we keep trying to tell the kids, like it is just staged time and time again. They don't even understand it.
What we teach our Distinguished Young Women to do is use their social media platform as their brand.
Yeah.
So if they have photos that they wouldn't want a college admissions counselor to see, take them off.
Or prospective job.
Correct. Right. No solo
application,
cups,
right.
just stuff like that doesn't need to be on there, so that when someone pulls it up, it's used for good.
Yes.
Any
I love
community service they've done, they can have pictures and things. It just doesn't need to go out there for everyone to see. So that's part of it. And then also it kind of helps them keep a diary of their life, where when we were growing up, we may have had we have a resume or a brag book.
Yeah.
They can go through and it kind of documents their path if they use it correctly.
Love that.
Yeah, and I
love
think
that.
then they don't have to be scared of social media.
Nope.
They never have to be nervous that something's getting out.
Right, because
and then you can tell, if kids aren't allowed to have it, it is a really good reason to tell their parents, I'm actually using it for good.
Yeah.
And
you can be in it, you can see it, you can watch it, you can, be proud. Yeah. And that's really great advice.
and even how people tag you.
Yeah.
So there's a setting, if you don't, where you can have, you you have to approve the post
Yes.
if they tag you.
Yes.
And I said, everyone should always have that on.
Yes.
Because you don't know, someone took a picture of you someplace and
Yeah.
you know, you don't like where you were, what
Yeah.
you did, which shouldn't happen anyway. But at least you have control.
It does happen to all of us,
Yeah,
though.
it happens. You're like, oh, that was a terrible
Making a
photo.
face
That's
or
right.
just doing a weird thing. Yeah.
So you have to have control over what's out there.
Yeah, that's really great advice. So Distinguished Young Women is it a national program or just Maryland? It is national.
It's national. It's 58 years old, started in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
And it was created by a group of men, actually, that wanted to have an avenue to give college-bound women scholarships, because there wasn't a scholarship program for college-bound young women. It was mostly beauty pageants. And at the time, you know, well, when it started, there was still a sash or a crown and which they've done away with now, and there's the medallion. But they really wanted to make sure that women had an opportunity to show that they were intelligent, they could speak in front of an audience, they'd done community service and be rewarded that way. And then it just started branching out. So there is a program in every state, and if there's not one in the county in which someone lives, there's always a program that they can participate in. So if there's only a state program, let's say in Mississippi, that's fine. Anyone in Mississippi can participate.
Yeah, very good. And it does. It gives these young ladies a great opportunity to continue their education and maybe get it paid for. Or
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's nice.
And the scholarships that is what most of them go in for. But I'll tell you that it's the life skills that they say are the most impactful.
Yeah.
Most have never written a thank you note.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
we
know.
sit and we give them carpal tunnel. We're like, you need to write, we teach them how to write a really good note, how to address it.
That makes me laugh because
Put a
Sonia's
stamp
like,
on
what's
it.
your address? I got to write you and she did. She wrote me a thank you note for interviewing her. I
Yeah,
love
she's
it.
the queen of thank you notes.
I'm a huge proponent of thank you notes.
Yeah.
And I hate that email when somebody thanks me via email. I mean, I love it because, you know, but I'm like, hey, my card's on the way. You know, it's not here yet. It's on the way. So I noticed Sonia sent me an email and then followed up with a handwritten note so that it didn't, because we're so used to the immediacy. And that was really interesting to me.
So that's funny you said that, because you think, oh no, they don't think I'm going to thank them.
Yes.
So I always say, you know, thank you for the interview today, or whatever. A proper thank you note is on the way.
I think that's what she said.
Because it like covers me so that they know I'm more appreciative, or I'm not going to text, hey, thank you so much for the interview.
And getting something handwritten today especially is so special. It really stands out. So it's a great way to do it.
It takes effort.
Yeah. All right. So if this is Distinguished Young Women is juniors and
Correct.
high school?
So in Maryland, we love to run it where juniors apply before January 1st. So sophomores can apply, and even freshmen, but we contact them when they're juniors so that we can mentor them through their junior and then through their senior year.
Okay, so you get half of the junior year, like
Correct.
January to May or June, and then the rest of their senior.
Right.
Oh, nice.
When I went through it in high school, I did it as a senior. So I went through and then right off to college.
Yeah.
And there's so much that you can either succeed. There's so much that can happen in that senior year.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's really important to catch them. We help them with college resumes and
Yeah.
all the things that, you know, guidance counselors are swamped. They just don't have the time.
No.
So we're able to do
That's amazing.
that part.
All right, so where do people go?
DistinguishedYW.org.
Okay, distinguishedYW.org.
Right.
Okay,
You
yeah,
just
we'll
click
make
a-
sure and put that up on screen. So if you have any aged young lady in high school, but certainly juniors now need to
Correct.
apply for January,
Right.
right? So you would get selected, and you guys contact them, and then get them.
And everyone's eligible. There is sometimes a GPA cutoff of maybe like a 3.0, which usually those that are going to college, that's kind of you're at a 3.0 or a little bit higher. And that's just set from state to state. So that's not everywhere.
Yeah.
But once they apply, unless there's a reason they can't participate, everyone is accepted into the program.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, now they have to follow through.
Yeah.
It's
on you after that.
We've had as many as 77 apply, and we ended up with 12 that followed through because There's some
There's a
time
commitment.
No,
There's
we
a
don't ask for
commitment.
too much. School and work is first,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
And then this is third. So it's not just writing an essay.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to do it.
How can they get in touch with you with the skincare and makeup?
So
What is it,
it's
Nicole?
Nicole's Makeup for Good
Okay.
on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And if for nothing else, I'm kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
So you can just, you'll meet
Watch
my
this
dogs.
and then you can watch her.
Yeah,
I
you'll
love
meet
it.
my dogs. I talk about all things, not just
Yeah.
skincare and makeup.
Yeah.
Because, life's weird and
Yeah.
you got to talk about it.
And you're normal. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. This is Nicole Orr. I'm going to make sure the websites are on screen for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. And fingers crossed, she might win a Do-Gooder Award tonight. So we will find out about that too. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
A proper thank you note's on the way.
Yes. I love it.